Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Colin Drew with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 632 for comics originally coming out April the 20th and April the 21st. But before Drew and I get into what's coming up in your local comic book shops this coming week, we got all kinds of feedback and stuff from our listeners, Drew, and all kinds of cool stuff coming out in the world of comics.
Yeah, this comes from our patron Aaron Churchill, who says, I've been thinking about joining CGC to get some comics graded. Seems like everyone is all about those 9/8s right now, with raw comics going for $20 to $30 and that same comic CGC graded going for $600. Just a random example. This seems like a good time to jump in. Are you able to give any thoughts, views, or advice on CGC? Going, which tier to join? Have you ever paid to get in on CGC? Anything you share would be appreciated. Thanks for the weekly podcast. You are rocking Patreon with the bonus episodes and totally worth the money each month. Wow, thank you very much, Aaron. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I am a flip-flopper when it comes to CGC. I hate it sometimes, and I think it's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's not consistent in its grading, and I think that those of us that have been collecting for a long time kind of know what near mint and fine and very good and fair and stuff like that is grade-wise, and we don't need 9.8s and 9.6s and stuff to tell us what a comic is and sealed in plastic where you can't even read the damn thing.
Is this your actual opinion?
This is one of my opinions that I've held.
Okay, got you.
I've held.
As you are saying all this, I am completely opposite on everything you're saying.
I've held this opinion.
Okay.
Now, also, I own some CGC comics. I own a dozen or so CGC comics, and they're pretty to look at. And so I see the appeal. And as a half-baked speculator, I see the value in them, in taking the comic that hits, encasing it in plastic with a 9/8 on it, and getting a lot more return on my investment. I see that value, but I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the process. I am a member of CGC, but the free version where I can just look up the census numbers and see how many issues of 9/8 of Sandman #1 there are, or whatever. There are 912 if you were counting at home.
Just FYI.
Yeah, and I'm not going to the pay levels where you get the credits, and I probably should. Kyle, what do you think about CGC?
Well, right now, as you look, the market is definitely moving towards CGC. The CGC 9.8s, of course, 9.8s are nothing at the moment. It's if you're 9.6, you got nothing. That seems to be the way the trend's going for everything, from comics to even see if you're following like the trends on even the Pokemon card trend and everything. You're seeing a lot of the graded cards going for obnoxious amounts of money. People seem to have trust issues and want these verifications. They don't want to trust whether the tiny little crease is actually affecting their value. They want to have the top dog and have it certified. That seems to be the biggest change in trend right now. Is grading is becoming more and more desirable as opposed to just a near mint floppy at the moment, and I don't see that changing at the moment. It's becoming even more clear that it's CGC or bust. You're just not getting the same types of return on I was going to say PGX, but it's not PGX anymore. It's CBC and things like that. So I would say if you're dabbling at all in the speculation market, I would say you pretty much have to pull the trigger at one of these like $149 levels. Because I think you kind of have to force your hand to get some things graded. Because if you're speculating at all, you're probably going to hit 2 to 3 good big books a year. and you're going to have credits, and you're going to have the ability to get things graded. And I think it's going to force your hand on a few things to make some decisions on those. And it just seems to me like the return on that kind of thing is well worth the investment at the moment. Now, the time frame on getting things back and everything is the big question.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the tiers there are four. There's the free one that I have. There's an associate level that is $25. There's a premium, which is $149, what Kyle was talking about, and there's the elite at $299. So the $25 gets you a $15 shipping kit voucher for new members. And I assume that's some kind of coupon in there, and 5% off of your grading fees and stuff. You get grader notes. You get full submission privileges. Whereas with my level, I'd only get select submission privileges. So I don't even know what the difference is. Let me click on the little thing, and I'll tell you what the difference is. I can still submit for signature series, but not for regular shows, whatever that means. Okay, and then I have full access to all the online resources at associate level, and I get that for free as well. At the premium level, they up the shipping kit to $20. And they give you 10% off grading tiers, and then they give you a $150 credit. So you're paying $150 for it, but you're getting $150 back in credit. So if you're going to get some stuff graded, it's going to pay for itself. And if you're doing, let's say, moderns, and you're fast tracking them, so a modern fast track, a modern is $20. As long as it's under $200 value, and then you can fast track it for 10. So let's say in fast track cuts the workaround time in half. So instead of 55 to 65 days for a turnaround, 2 months, you might be able to get it in a month. So if you want to fast track everything, that's 5 books. Let's basically say you can fast track 5 books, modern books, in a year. That's probably seems normal. Like you would do that. You would find 5 things that you'd want to flip, or just dig through your stacks of stuff that you've already accumulated, and you can find things. Now, as they go up, after you go before, earlier than modern, you're going to pay more. As the value goes up, then there's like economy, standard, express, and if the value of the item is like $400, $1,000, $3,000, then you pay more, up to like $100.
Yeah.
Or if it's super valuable, then they take 3% of your fair market value, up to $5,000. So if you have a Action Comics #1, they're gonna grade that, but you're gonna have to pay $5,000 for them to grade that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of. That's kind of like the overview. They are talking about they're having trouble getting graders, training graders, keeping graders, and so the turnaround times are suffering because of that.
But like if you're looking at a case like my case, like there are at least 3 to 5 books that I am stupid for not sending in right now.
Yes.
So like I have that Young Avengers, I have that Moon Knight one. I have that Kanto. I have the Last Ronin. Yeah. Things that I should be having encapsulated because they're in great condition. And the jump to a 9.8 would make it all worth it. And I'm just dumb for not doing it.
But what if they're 9.6s?
Well, then I could at least, throw them immediately up on eBay and get double my money back.
You still think if they come back 9.4s, 9.6s, you still think you can get your money back?
Yeah, I could get probably double my investment and everything back into them, just on the fact that it is a high grade sought after book.
Yeah, as long as it's in the 9s, you're probably
and
okay.
Then if my brother would get really good at pressing, like he keeps saying he's going to do, this would never be an issue.
Yeah. I'll just practice on your stuff.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, send me a stack and I'll practice on it.
But I honestly think that just the fact that you should have the subscription to kind of force your hand to send books in, just because that's what so much of the market is. And you hit one, let's say the Kanto comes back 9.8. I just made $1,000.
Yeah, minus you. Well, there, I don't know what the shipping thing is. So that's another thing. I don't really know what the little shipping kit is. So they might force you to ship it at a certain level. So it might cost you, I don't know, $20 to ship it there.
Correct.
And then you have to maybe.
And that's been my biggest thing is, I want to do CGC, but I'm going to wait till I have 4 or 5 so I don't get raped on shipping.
Right.
And then then you look at this, you're like, all right, I have the credits, I have the shipping kit, I have the ability. Let's pick 5 books and let's go.
Yes.
So I mean, it's just what the market's doing. You just kind of got it. I mean, that's where your money is. That's all.
Yep. That's where the big money is. If you could wait 2 months for it, obviously that helps. If you want to do the fast track and try to get it in a month, that's even better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so but if you got like a $3,000 book, it's going to cost you $100 to get the thing graded, but you can get it back in 7 days because you're paying more too. If you have the Action Comics #1 that you want graded, you're not waiting.
You're not listening to our podcast.
It's coming back the same day.
Yeah.
You get that back the same day. And you probably aren't throwing that in a medium mail envelope, shipping it down there, I would think. But you never know.
It's true.
So yeah, and then when you go to the Elite, I was just looking at the Elite, the $300. It still gives you the same $150 credit, which I think is it counts not only for the fees, and the shipping. And so I think that seems pretty good. And it just expires in a year. So use it in a year and you're good to go. But the only thing it adds, Elite members receive a 20% discount on additional grader notes, including submissions prior to May 12. So you get free grader notes where available for your comic book submissions from May 12th to the present, May 2012 to the present. I'm sorry, not May 12th. And then the 20% discount is on grader notes for books prior to 2012. And that's only available through the Elite. Although discount's only available through the Elite package. I guess you can still get grader notes. What are grader notes, Kyle? Are those little things in the window? Or are those things that come with your book telling you why?
Those are things that are going to tell you why they graded you a 9.6 instead of a 9.8.
Yeah.
They're going to say, we found a defect on the corner, we found discoloration, your pages aren't wide enough, kind of thing.
Yeah. And you're going to lose your crap and kick the dog because you thought you were going to get a 9.8 and you got a 7.5.
Turns out I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. So I mean that's it in a nutshell. Did we answer the questions here? Let me go back here.
So based on the market, in my opinion, the $150 level is the way to go. Make sure you send in 4 to 5 books in a given year. Take a chance, take a shot on them.
Yeah. Go ahead and join at that level, and then let us know. Let us know how you did. And Kyle's been talking about it forever and hasn't done it. I probably should. It's just something about it that just rubs me the wrong way, and I don't know why.
The purist in you.
I guess it is. Purist in me with my Overstreet price guide, and looking at the corners of my comic and checking the staples and looking to see how it lays open and checking the page colors. I do that stuff. I know as much as they do. I don't need no stinking plastic container, but I guess I do. I've talked myself in circles. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and I've done the same thing. I used to be like, this is dumb, but like as you watch the market, it's just like,
yeah,
man, the payoff's good.
Payoff's great, right? So I mean, if that's what you want to do it for, why not? You might as well play the game, and you might as well go with CGC, because that seems to still be the most well-respected one. I know the CBCS still exists. I don't know that PGX still exists. They might. They're not.
I don't remember.
They're not very well thought of, though, as accurate. And so CGC is the gold standard so far, as there is one. And they're still flawed, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as us rocking the Patreon, we appreciate that. And as a patron, Aaron, we appreciate your contributions and thank you for your input. And to give back to patrons, we are extending and expanding our Slab giveaway. Speaking of 9/8s and CGC, these are all CGC 9/8s in our Slab giveaway contest. And one of our patrons, Adam Pastry, has added to the list. So some of the new slabs that winners will be able to choose from are a Wolverine 50, the Bianchi black and white variant, a Justice League International 34, a Fantastic Four #1, which is a Kirby Hidden Gem variant, Batgirl 50, which is a lovely book,
That lovely book.
Spider-Man 17, a Mayhew Tigra trade variant from 2019, Basket Full of Heads as a holdover, along with House of X #5, Wonder Woman 761B, Red Sonja Age of Chaos #1, Powers of X #2, and Batman 98B, the Matina Punchline cover. So all those, one of those, not all of them, one of those could be yours if you become, if you go to our Patreon page, Comics for Fun and Profit, and join. At any level, you get entered in the contest. And in a few months, we will select another winner, and you will be a winner, just like Aaron Churchill was a winner in our spring contest, our spring giveaway. So, I don't remember what did he choose? Would he choose Batgirl? Did he win Batgirl? A Batgirl book?
Cannot remember off the top of my head.
Catwoman. It was a Catwoman.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, he selected a Catwoman. They're all 9/8s, free shipping to you. So just for being a patron, you have the chance to get a free 9.8 slab sent to your door of your choosing from that list. I will take the photos of each one of these items and put together a post down the road. It takes me a while to put that thing together, but I will do that so that you can look at them, and we'll make sure to get this in the show notes as a reminder. But we'd love to get you to join up, and that's not the only reason to join. Don't just join to get in this contest. You also get to be part of our Slack community and chit-chat with us on a regular basis. You get exclusive content and episodes, free posts, free spec picks, bonus spec picks, and you get early access to many other items. So some of our things that have been exclusive have just been interview shows, review shows, commentary, news items, that sort of thing. And just our patrons get to see that stuff. Now, don't worry. If you're just a regular listener and you just like the Saturday show, then that's not going to go away. You'll always be able to have access to that, and that will always be free to you. But this is just for something extra for folks that want to give back to us, because we appreciate that very much. And you can be a part of our patron group and be a part of our supporters, and we love that. So hopefully that I've explained that well enough. I've only been talking about it for 3 months now, so hopefully you got it, or are totally sick of it. Anywho, on to the next. We still have some time to look at previews. Our orders are not quite due yet. I think they're due on the 22nd. Is that right, Kyle?
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick peek at Aftershock, and if we have time, we're going to take a look at AWA, two of our favorite publishers.
I was going to say, those are just two of the ones that we tend to gravitate towards, so I always make sure that when I'm doing my previews run, I usually always force myself to pick a couple things through them, just because I've really enjoyed them.
Yeah, so first up from Aftershock, we have Out of Body #1 by Peter Milligan and Inaki Miranda.
And did you see that we have an incentive cover from Charlie Adler?
I know. Was that not crazy?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, yeah, I love that. It's a featured item that with a solicit that reads, when Dan Collins wakes to find his life hanging by a thread, he must use astral projection to discover who tried to kill him. Who is the beautiful mystic who tries to help him? Why does August Friend want Diane's soul? And what does it have to do with a demon who seems to be Dorian Gray? A weird occult detective thriller about life, death, and whatever lies in between. So that's pretty cool. The pages look good. The art looks good. We do have the a picture of the Charlie Adler design cover, which is really nice. And the interior arts look decent. I'm fine with that. Who is that again? Yeah. Inaki Miranda. Inaki Miranda. Quality stuff. So that looks pretty good. What is it? A $3.99 book? $4.99 book that comes out June 2nd. And it's 32 pages. What do you think of this bunny mask, Kyle?
Looks interesting. I kind of like it. Again, I constantly say that I'm not big into horror, but there are a few horror things that I, gravitate a little bit to. So, Bunny Mask #1, a new horror series from the creator of the Eisner-nominated Calder. Sealed in a cave before the dawn of man, released by a crazed madman, Bunny Mask walks our world once more. But for what dark purpose does she use her unnatural powers, and what's her connection to B. Foster, a young girl murdered by her father 14 years ago? In order to save his life and his sanity, one man will have to discover the truth of what waits behind the mask.
Is that Calder? Eisner-nominated Calder? Is that the word?
Colder.
That's Calder, right?
Yep.
Is it pronounced Calder?
I don't know.
I think it's Calder. Like, just Calder. That would be
Shut up.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's an incentive cover as well.
Another Adler. Nice.
Yep.
So he must be doing some work with Aftershock. That's cool.
I was going to say, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. We also have Seven Swords #1. Evan Daughtery and Ricardo Latina doing that. The incentive cover this time is J.G. Jones. Top quality stuff right there. Yeah. And this is a weary and jaded.
Yeah, see, that's what you get for talking crap about the way I said Calder.
I gotta help. I'm a helper.
Well, much appreciated.
A weary and jaded D'Artagnan is drawn into a final conflict with the wicked Cardinal Richelieu, whose ruthless quest for power has led him to the supernatural. But the last.
So this is the Three Musketeers universe.
Yeah, I guess so. Got some Cyrano de Bergerac going on, Captain Blood, Don Juan.
These are all open source. You can write about these kind of characters. It's kind of like Thor and Loki, where they're just
you don't have to pay anybody anything.
Exactly.
Steal it. It's yours. Pretend like it's yours and make it your own.
That's right.
Great J.G. Jones cover. Really looks great. Interior looks really solid. I'm excited about that one. And yes, good quality #1 offerings from Aftershock. Mm-hmm. Silver City. I still haven't read that first one yet. I need to do that. It might not be out yet.
Nuclear Family continues to do these family portrait covers, and it's freaking me out, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the first couple have been great too.
Yeah.
First couple issues have been really great. And then I don't know, that's pretty much it, I guess, for Aftershock.
I picked up the first Bequest, but I haven't read it yet.
I gotta scroll down and find AWA because I'm on a PDF version, so I don't have it bookmarked exactly where AWA is. I know it's right after Archie, right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Or Aspen, after my beloved Avatar, which just
A, B, C, D
continues to reprint crossed books over and over again, and nothing.
You got what, a good 10 years across before they've now just kind of been
just falling off. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's on page 283 if you're following along at home. AWA Upshot releases. The first one is Moths #1, and this is a J. Michael Straczynski book, illustrated by Mike Joy. It looks like a 6-issue miniseries, and they do pretty much what they do, right? They don't do a lot of just straight up ongoing.
Everything they've ever put out is a short series,
and that's to capitalize on optioning.
I'm guessing, yeah.
See if this gets.
These are all being done as vehicles.
Let's get this IP sold to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a part of the Resistance storyline. So.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I haven't. Resistance is sitting there. Needs to be read.
Had Resistance and Resistance 2, didn't we?
Yeah. So this is like a spin-off, I guess, of that.
Okay, no, we're midway through Resistance, so we have Resistance Uprising, which is also on issue 3. The solicit.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it must have been successful enough.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And a dope Kari Andrews variant cover as well.
I'm looking forward to this Marjorie Finnegan Temporal Criminal book by Garth Ennis when it comes out. First issue should be out pretty soon, and this is the second issue. So I guess it's going to be out in May. I guess the first issue will be out in May since this one's out in June.
Let's jump down a couple and see Black Mask real quick too while we're at it.
Oh, okay.
Because they got a #1.
What was I reading by Black Mask? Oh, I read. Do you remember the book The Last Song that I liked from them?
Uh-huh.
I was raving about The Last Song in 2017. The first issue was fantastic. And then in 2018, I was like, hey, I got the second issue of this. It's pretty good. I wish they put these out a little faster.
Yeah.
I read the third issue, which came out in 2020. And fourth issue, I have no idea when it's coming out. Is it? It isn't by any chance being solicited, is it? Because that would be fantastic.
No, it is not.
Okay. So yeah, so it's since 2017. I've had 3 issues of this book, and
they've got you. They've managed to keep you interested with that. They've strung you along.
And they have a recap page. So I'm like,
well, you'd friggin' better.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened. Okay, yeah, it's all coming back to me now. And then I get sucked back in, and then they're like, to be concluded in issue 4. I'm like, oh, when's that coming out? I don't know. Great.
That's crazy. But I wanted to pop down because they do have another #1. They have Everfrost #1, which is Ryan Lindsay that I know from Negative Space.
Oh, okay.
Van Louise retired to the ice coast so she could quietly find a way off planet from a world on the wrong side of societal collapse. We love our post-apocalyptic stuff, Drew.
Yes.
She biohacks a dead Leviathan to orchestrate passage away into the universe, but her plans are about to get chewed up by a mounting war between the warlords, violent gatekeepers for the global ruling party, and the Blooms, those who risked extinction living out on the Watcher, as well as a family reunion with her son, who she hasn't seen since he died in her arms when he was a child. So, just something neat. Black Mask, we've talked about its inconsistency with releasing things, but they do tend to have some pretty cool titles, so we always end up heading back there to look at a few things.
Yeah. And so this time next week at our show, we will have already turned our order in, correct?
Yep.
Most of you probably will have as well, whether you're through deep discount or whatever the other one's called, and or through your local comic book shop whenever you have to get those in. So most of us will have done that. So it might be time to start over again.
Mm-hmm.
I know we'll have to keep an eye and see if DC rolls out or Marvel rolls out their books next week. So that might be all we can get through in this previews.
Yeah, but we're just trying to spotlight a few things, just try to give you kind of where our head's at with some of the way we think with going into our orders.
Yeah.
Even though the advent of FOC has really made it so we can be lazy with our previews orders.
Yeah, when it comes to the back half, this is where most of these, not all these folks are on FOC. Yeah. And so, most of your mid-majors are there, and of course the big two. But yeah, a lot of the back half, they don't do FOC. So you've got to get them in during the pre-order cycle, or you miss out. Yep. So now let's head on over to the CBSI Hot 10 and see what they have that's bubbling up on the sales charts.
Yeah, our good friends at comicbookinvest.com have a weekly Hot 10 list that we love to go through and just see what the big books on the secondary market are, and usually poke fun at why they're there. At rank 1, we have Joker. Number 2, the 1 in 50 Trevor Hare sign. And this thing has gone crazy, mostly because it wasn't available on FOC until after FOC was done.
Yeah. And people have been talking about this online, and I was like, I don't really think this is going to do anything. Well, it's doing $200 to $250.
So here's the thing. We have, spoilers. Can we do this?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I want to talk about this, and I don't want to screw anybody up who's reading these. So we have what's being called Bane's daughter, correct?
I think so, yeah.
But if you read Old Lady Harley,
right,
we already had Bane's kids, including his daughter.
Oh.
But if you read this book, it's technically a female clone of Bane. Oh. So we're playing a lot of weird shenanigans with who this is, and if it's even a first appearance. Right. It is regardless a dope cover. However,
yeah, look what James Tinian's done so far with his DC run. Mm-hmm. He has Ghostmaker, who's this Molly something.
Miracle Molly.
He just been Clown Face something. He's been just like auto word cloud generating new characters, and is hoping that some of them hit, and I don't know that any of them will.
50% of them have.
So, but have they for long term? We don't
define long term.
Year from now, 5 years from now,
5 years from now, we're still waiting on, so they may pop back through.
Yeah, that's true.
But we haven't had a Marvel instance of things like who is now Ghost Spider, where it popped from the beginning and just has continued to cycle.
True. Through a rebranding, even.
Yeah.
They haven't killed it yet with that.
But regardless, a really nice cover, and through some shenanigans,
yeah,
there aren't a lot of them.
Yeah, so low supply and high demand gets you $250 for a 1 in 50 that you may or may not even been able to get. I know people were paying $150 for it pretty early on, so crazy.
Yep, and now they're saying it's between $250 and even more at the moment.
Yep.
At rank 2, we have Strange Tales number 159. For reference, a 9.2 last sold on February for $288. One sold overnight for $1,200. 9.6s have been fairly steady for 5 years, around $600, and then one sold for $2,000. I wonder what the plans are going forward. And this is all Captain America stuff coming from Falcon Winter Soldier, I assume.
Yes.
At rank 3, we have Jenny Zero, number 1, the recalled edition. So they must have recalled this. Apparently, someone is likely lost their job for mixing up pages and other stuff inside this issue. Huh?
Yeah, I don't
know. Okay, I didn't know if you knew.
I'm hearing this for the first time from you right now.
So Jenny Zero number 1, they recalled it for some weird stuff inside. We'll do a little bit more research on that. Apparently it's not just because there's a bunch of drugs and booze inside of a kaiju footprint on the front. Apparently there are some pages mixed up inside of it, and they got recalled. So flip through it at your local LCS, and if it's got bad pages, go buy it because it's been recalled.
It's worth $40.
Heck yeah. At rank 4, we have Gargoyles #1. Just as we've said, my generation has more money than they know what to do with, so they're reaching out for everything from their past, and Gargoyles #1, I'm assuming, is no exception. 9.8 selling for $750. The newsstand is even higher. Rawls for $125. A year ago, 9.8 was only $125. It doesn't matter.
I remember this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You probably have these, don't you?
I probably do, because I liked Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni, I think, came from the Gargoyles universe, who ended up in the Star Wars universe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of good clout to this show when it first came out.
This seems like something I would have bought for you at that age.
100%.
Yeah, you might have these.
Have to do some digging. At rank 5, we have ASM 361. This is our Carnage book. There were prices of 9.8s in 2021. On January 1st, it was $700. February 1st, $850. March 1st, $1,000. Today, $1,300. What is the ceiling on ASM 361?
So this is one that I should probably look for the really good quality one and shit it in, right?
Yes. Because a 9.8 is getting you over a G. At rank 6, we have Spawn 237, the purple Tradesmark variant. This has been a sought-after book for a while, but was in the $200 to $225 range. There was a sale a couple months ago in the $450 range, and then this week a raw sale around $520 and a 9.8 sale of $1,800 or more dollars.
Yeah, Spawn people are crazy.
Yeah. Yep. And they've been in the game for a while, if they're Spawn people.
Yep.
Minky Woodcock Girl Electrified Tesla #1, the Robert McGinnis Virgin variant. Prices are all over the place, but it looks like this one is going to fall in the $25 to $30 range. If you have not read any of these Titan hard crime books, do yourself a favor and read them. There are several different ones with great covers, which is clearly why this one is selling super well. At rank 8, Canto in the City of Giants #1, the 1 in 25 Martin Simmons variant. Selling about 2 times the cover at 45 to 50 range. Not as much buzz with another new volume, but it looks like some are willing to pony up some extra cash still, which in my mind leads to the long-term longevity of Canto, that even though we're not doing first appearances and we've moved on to the second iteration of it, it's still moving well and still people still care about it, so that's awesome. Drew, I know I have this book at rank 9, all new Wolverine #1, Karen Grant hip hop variant.
Is that a DMX homage?
This is the DMX cover.
Gotcha.
And, not to capitalize off people's death, but this happens with everything. It happened with Prince.
Yep.
And a few others. I just couldn't put it on the list last week. Try and have some respect for those that passed on. In any case, this is a $100 book after being a $25 book prior. I bought this because it was Tom Taylor.
Yep.
And now I have $100 if I want it.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
You Promised Me Darkness #1, the Anne Shadowcat Noria 1 in 5 variant. I'm confused how people have these in hand when it isn't supposed to be released until next week. Anyways, there's a lot of variants for this, and this one is selling for over $30.
Yeah, and I don't know this one at all. So
From Behemoth.
Behemoth is probably one of those publishers that don't do FOC, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it fell under my radar.
There you go. Well, it's not due out till next week, so you still have a shot.
That's true.
And our honorable mentions, we have Winona Earp, Season 0, #1, the Convention Photo variant. Holy crap, over $1,000. Check out listings and sales of any of these photo variants. You're going to be friggin' shocked.
What's the deal?
I don't know. Because they didn't have conventions? They just...
I guess. Nerds.
And more of their older honorable mentions. We have Dime Comics #1. This cover is clearly not up to the 2021 standards, but this was the 40s. So it was okay then. Several copies have popped up this year, and an 8.0 is going up for auction on Comic Link. But 2 copies sold this week, a 7.0 and a 5.5. for $3,300 and $1,250 respectively. These prices dwarf the $1,500 of an 8.0 sale just 2 years ago.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Time for FOC from our good friend Eric, who is a little under the weather, and we wish him well and speedy recovery. And so he didn't get a chance to feature anything this week, but he's leaving it to the experts. They couldn't do it either, so we're going to step up.
Yeah, and just a word also, we did finally get the cover release for their Star Wars Bounty Hunters cover that's exclusive to them, and boy, is it cool looking. So head on over to, I think it was Shop Cowabunga or something like that. What is it?
Yes, and I don't know that it's still offered on FOC.
No, not still on FOC, but
you can get it through their shop.
It's exclusive to them, so reach out because it's Boba Fett and it's worth it. It's cool looking.
Yes. And Kyle, you're going to have to get another Fortnite book.
I know.
Cover A, I'm guessing?
Say what?
You're going to get cover A?
I love Mikhail Yanin, but I love Dan Mora too.
Yep. What you going to do, man? What you going to do?
Probably going to go Dan Mora because my son loves fish. Fish sticks on both cover. Crap.
It's so challenging here.
Never thought I'd be having this conversation with myself about this. But, yeah, I'll probably just cover right on that one. It's a better discount.
You know, you're not the only dad, grandpa, etc. that is like buying these books for their kid, grandkid, nephew, whatever. It's. I think they're going to sell well. I really do.
Yep.
So we got Future State Gotham. This is by Yasmin Putri, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Good looking book.
Yeah.
I am excited about this.
Cannot wait to read this one. This is one that I've been excited for. And Putri's been drawing Red Hood covers for a while.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Josh Williamson does a good story ready to go here.
Dark, go dark, please go dark.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. I'm excited for Joker number 3.
Yep.
That's pretty exciting.
It's got a hubbub over those. Let's look at the 1 in 25 right now. Again, we don't have a 1 in 50 on FOC, but if history is any indication, they're going to sneak one in on us right after this. So talk to your LCS.
Yeah. So how does that even work?
Right?
You have to have already been in the 1 in 50 range to get the secret.
You already have to be buying at least 50. And then you just have to have a good relationship. So
yeah. So
those of us with scumbag LCSs are screwed.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Challenge of the Super Sons number 2.
And we have Justice League Last Ride number 1. This is Chip Zdarsky writing Justice League. I'm interested in his take and how he does a team book. Don't know that I've read any of his team books. If he's done one, I don't think that counts. And it's got Miguel Mendonca on art, and I'm not familiar with his work, so I'm curious what that looks like as well. So yeah, this is something I'm kind of interested in reading for sure.
While Derek Chu does an awesome job on things like his Harley variants, I highly do not like this Superman red and blue number 3. Of course, I haven't liked any of the covers for any of those.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Mm-hmm. I've enjoyed the book, reading the book, but I can see.
Oh
yeah, the cover's doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, this color scheme drives me nuts. And those are our DC books. Of course, those are due into your local comic shops. The due FOC by Sunday.
I'm still kind of reeling over these photo variants. Those are the least appealing cover variants for me.
What are we talking about?
On the top 10.
Oh yeah.
The photo variant was how hot they are, and he's saying that they're pervasively hot. Mm-hmm. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Okay, I got to get over that. Moving on.
Down to the Dark Horse.
Oh, Black Hammer Visions. Who gets to do the writing on this one? That is Mariko Tamaki and Diego Orlategu taking on the Black Hammer universe. These have been fun.
Speaking of fun, we have The Last Ronin #3 from IDW. Really cool cover A on there. And let's check out the Freddie Williams 1 in 10.
This was supposed to be out in December of 2020.
Well, we had issues with #1, which pushed that back. And then we've just kind of successively kept a grid from there.
Yeah, it's a hot mess.
No. I think they tried to do right by people with the first one, the ash can hit, and people just didn't respond well to the interior art. So, I mean, IDW did the right thing and did some redoing on it.
You're just in the bag for TMNT related paraphernalia, so you're going to defend them. It's been delayed.
No, the first one was delayed, but you can't exactly not delay the subsequent ones, Drew. So one book was delayed, and then the rest have gone through. What do you friggin' do? Calm down.
I'll look it up.
You can't have an on-time #3 with a delayed #1, Drew. I mean, it just can't happen. Either way, you got Casey Jones' mask on #1 on the cover A. It's cool looking. Shut up, Drew.
Okay. All right. So it'll be Comics for Fun and Profit with just Kyle.
We don't need Drew's opinion this week.
And from Image, we've got Department of Truth going to a 5th printing. That cover looks exactly like some of the previous ones, but it might be a little different. But I don't think so.
There you go.
Geiger, I started it. I haven't got a chance to finish it because I got stuff going on. But I want to finish. I'm going to finish that book tonight. Doggone it.
Home #1 goes to a 2nd print.
Yeah, good for them.
Good. Very cool.
Good for them. Let's see, we've got Ice Cream Man #24 with a pretty cool little poster cover. I like that.
Let me look at this Tula Lote silver coin. Cover B for #2. That's going to give me nightmares. Shouldn't have looked at that. Should not have looked at that. Shouldn't even have looked at cover A. All right, I'm done. Moving on.
And we're getting Time Before Time, the Declan Shalvey #1 with Joe Palmer and Chris O'Halloran on art. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, the year is 2140. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. It's a criminal organization book. Yeah, that looks fun.
Down into Marvel, and I remember you and I going, man, there's a lot of this man thing. What the heck's going on? They're really pushing this man thing. Does anybody care? We've gone to a 2nd print on Avengers Cursed Man thing #1. So maybe
somebody knows something, right?
Yeah.
Black Panther hits issue 25. There's a lot of covers. They're all independently orderable, which is nice. No stretch covers there. Let's
see what Peach has to say.
This is the final issue of Ta-Nehisi Coates' run. And it also coincides with issue 25.
And there's an epilogue drawn by Brian Stelfreeze. That is a good-looking Peach Momoko cover. I like that.
Now, how much of Coates' Black Panther or Captain America have you read?
Little to none.
Little to none. I have read little to none as well. I've tried them both, dip in on them here and there, and some people like them. I thought they took a long time to kind of get going.
Yeah.
I am very curious as to what his future is in comics. Was this an itch he wanted to scratch? And of course, if you're Marvel, you're going to let him do that because he is
100%
a big time writer. Or is this something that he's now always going to be a part of the writing stable and continue to do? Or do you think he's done? Do you have an opinion on that?
I think he's done.
I think he's done.
I think it never really hit as hard as people hoped it would, and
he got to do a run, and I don't know how long he'll be on Captain America.
The one to get on this is this Brian Stelfreeze final issue variant. It's the bottom one on this order list, and I just see this book jumping. I see this being one that you have to have.
Really?
Yeah, just about from looking at it and the fact that it's a later order date, so it wasn't one of the original covers offered. As much as I like the Peach Momoko, I think that Brian Stelfree's final issue variant is something you're probably going to want if you're at all interested in this.
Yeah. For Fantastic 32, we have the Bride of Doom Part 1 storyline lining up. And they're rolling out some covers for this. So it's kind of interesting. Don't know why.
Oh, really cool. Oh, it's a scroll. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, they're kind of doing a lot here with this. So
Yeah.
I haven't been reading this book either, and I've heard good things. So I should. You were always in Slot We Trust. Did it just extend to Spider-Man?
No, it's always been in Slot We Trust. I mean, while I am in no way, shape, or form a Fantastic Four guy, the fact that it's Dan Slott is possibly enough.
Yeah.
Because heck, I read. I'm not a Silver Surfer guy, but I read Slott Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's probably too.
The Scotty Young variant.
I'll have to take a look at that. I did not. I think it's too late now to go back. It's 32 issues into this run, so yeah, that's a great cover. Just Scotty Young. That's awesome. Put his little spin on it.
Giant-sized Amazing Spider-Man King's Ransom #1 $6 book. Nick Spencer writing. Boomerang.
I'm making a concerted effort to increase my Marvel books, and so I got Heroes Reborn happening.
Because you think it's worth it, or because you think you should?
Because I think I should. Because they're the market leader. They own 50% plus of the market. I don't know why they haven't been hitting for me lately, but I think I need to revisit some of these books and give it another go, see what the deal is. Because I'm reading a lot of DC. I read a lot of Image. I read a lot of the back half of books. And so to have there for a while, I'm reading like 2 Marvel books. What's going on? Yeah. You know, so I gotta dig. I gotta dig for some of these, and I think there's some opportunities here for me to check stuff out. Maybe I just hop on this Fantastic Four with issue 32. It's a new story arc. Maybe I just hop on there. I won't go back.
Super excited to see the success of this Silk run. Second printings for issue 1 already.
Yeah.
And some really good looking covers for issue 3 here.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's really cool. As a person who has always been on the Silk bandwagon, it's good to see.
I've had people tell me, Kyle, that the Star Wars High Republic Adventures from IDW is better than the Star Wars High Republic from Marvel.
I've heard that as well, and I jumped in from the get-go just to not miss out on those.
Are you current on High Republic?
No, I'm through 2.
Okay. I'm just curious, and it might be where we're at. I don't even know. So I'm just curious how it's holding up for you. Is it getting its hooks in you, or is it just?
Yeah, it's enough. It's enough.
Oh, good.
But I'm a sucker.
You're a super fan.
One could say that.
Yes.
X Corp #1, David Aja cover A. You got me. You had me at David Aja.
And what's the deal here with X Corp? Tenny Howard, Alberto Foschi, Krakoa is for losers. Closers. What did I say? Losers?
Yep, completely different.
Mutant Guy is safe on Krakoa as the reign of the X continues. What are the wants of the mutants who have everything? Leading the charges, X Corporation, headed by Monet St. Croix and Warren Warrington to do. Okay, so it's X books. One of the ones I haven't been reading.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not going to get me.
But that is a cool cover.
Yeah, it is. Very nice. Let's see, we have Resistance Uprising #2 from AWA. Destiny New York goes to a second printing with its first issue from Black Mask. It's curious they chose the cover F for their second printing.
Yeah, that is weird.
Magic the Gathering second issue is out.
Mateo Scalera on the cover A. Lots of variants. Boom is leaning hard into the variants.
Yes. Good 7 Secrets #8. I've heard good things. I mean, of course, it's Tom Taylor. Woefully behind on that.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why am I not reading this Tom
Yeah,
Taylor
it's
book?
Tom Taylor, and I'm just letting it stack up. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I think I've read 2 of those, and I need to catch up.
Red Room #1 from Fantagraphic. It's weird. Ed Pisker.
Oh, my boy from Hip Hop Family Tree?
Yep. Red Room is a cyberpunk outlaw splatterpunk masterpiece. Double-sized debut for $7.
Well, that's something I want to check out.
Yeah.
I missed that entirely. Bummer.
And Ed Pisker. Oh, Fantagraphic has Peach Momoko covers. That is a wicked 1 of 20.
For 55 bones.
Yeah.
Not that wicked. And
Scouts Honor 5, I forgot. I haven't read past 3, which means I gotta go 4.
I am current. I'm up to. I've read 4. You're right. Really good book.
Really well done.
Yep.
Really well done.
Yep, I like it a lot. And I believe Jason liked it a lot too when he did his review.
Yep.
Yeah.
A new Aftershock book, Silver City #1 from Olivia Cartero Briggs.
Yeah, we saw issue 2 coming out. This looks pretty good.
Welcome to Silver City, where the sun never rises and nothing ever changes until now.
From the publisher who gave you Black, now we have White #1. Black from Black Mask, and it's the same writer, Kwanzaa Asayefo. And Jamal Igle.
The team that asked, what if only black people had superpowers, is back with a sequel to the critically acclaimed series Black.
White comics are limited to 2,500 copies each. I love that. I love the way that sounds. Grab them. There's only 2,500 whites left. Somebody get them. Get the whites.
Don't miss out on them whites.
We got a couple good years left in the whites.
Titan Comics, we have Star Wars Mandalorian Season 1 hardcover guide. What? This book, dedicated to the first season of the successful hit live action series The Mandalorian, streaming on Disney Plus, features character files, plots, settings, and behind-the-scenes content. An in-depth look at the making of the hit show, exploring the adventures of the Mandalorian and the child.
Just in time for Season 3. Your guide to Season 1.
Yeah.
What? What is the timing here?
So there's a hardcover that would normally be $20, but you get yourself a discount. There is a
newsstand
variant, and there is a PX, which is the direct market variant. I like that one the best.
The direct market? Good.
Yeah.
They deserve the best one.
I agree. This is a magazine format, but it caught my eye, so I thought I'd talk about it.
Yeah. Strange timing, though, right?
Yeah, horribly strange timing.
So they wanted to make sure there was no spoilers on their show. Give people plenty of time to watch it.
Yeah, I imagine Star Wars is like, no, you don't write anything until we get our Disney Plus subscriptions, and then we'll talk about your little funny book.
Yeah. People haven't watched it yet. Not everybody's watched it yet.
Yeah.
Give us some more time.
That's right. From Scout Comics, Black Cotton #1, second print, and '2 of their 6-issue series.
It freaked me out to see Black Cotton on the FOC from, what was it, Lunar? Mm-hmm. Lunar Distribution. I had forgotten that Scout moved their distribution from Diamond
Yeah.
over, and they're also, or did they just dupe it? Are they on Diamond and Lunar?
These are all great questions that I have no shot at answering.
Yeah, I remember the press release, and I can't remember the details. But yeah, it was still a surprise that it was. You used to just seeing DC books on FOC from Lunar, but there was some Scout comic books as well, which was cool.
Very cool. Hey, let's run on over to our friends at Cover Price and let's look at their top 10, Drew.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, at rank 10, we have the Geiger #1 black and white thank you variant from Image. Jeff Johns' Apocalyptic News series hit the market with a huge splash. It sold out, and buyers rushed online to get their hands on the one per store cover. It moved 75 copies because every friggin' store puts theirs online right away. High sale of $83 for Raw. Keep an eye out for the Diamond UK Virgin black and white thank you variant. That copy is exceptionally tough to find, especially if you live in the U.S.
I would guess.
Yeah.
It's in the UK.
I see what you did there. At rank 9, we have Berserker #1, the second print foil. 96 copies on this thing moved. A CGC 9.6, $280, $75 for Raw. So this is a 1-point store. One per store. Or no. The market went very specific on covers. Like the one per store thank you for covers. This foil variant is quickly trying to catch up. Okay, so yeah, it's just moving a ton. We have at rank 8 Geiger #1, the Jason Fabok cover B. This book is moving across all covers. This may not be the most valuable, but it still sold 37 copies. High sale of $42 for a CGC 9.8 pre-sale, $11 for raw copies. I think I went in on the glow in the darks on these just for fun.
Gotcha.
Death by Life #1 from Antarctic Press. The new horror title from Antarctic is receiving a lot of interest. Horror titles have made a huge resurgence in modern comics, yet many shops have not wised up to this, making in-shop copies very hard to find. Readers and collectives have had to turn to online sources like eBay, causing it to move 17 copies, $30 for raw. Berserker #1, the third print foil variant. $60 for a raw copy on this beast. We've talked a few times about Shadecraft #1 from Image. It's here on rank 5. Netflix picks up Shadecraft from Lucifer showrunner Joe Henderson. Still moving 67 copies, $22 for raw. That's up from 18 the previous week. We talked about the DMX hip hop variant for On Wolverine from 2015. $125 for raw and over $500 for a 9.8. Rest in peace, DMX. The Rise #1 from Heavy Metal. We talked about this from George Romero's son. I was all over the other series as well as this Rise series for that. $25 for raw copies already. Prices on some have settled a bit on this, but there was an initial surgence.
Yeah.
We've yet to decide what we think of Bad Idea Comics, but at rank 2, ENIAC #2, continuing to be a big thing. 144 copies moved online. Yep. $51 for raw. Are they just screwing with this, True?
I don't know, but mine better be in my box, or if it got allocated, I'm going to be peeved.
Yep. The second print is very tough to find in stores, and therefore sold a large amount online.
I know they allocated this issue 1s, so hopefully they don't do that with issue 2.
Yeah. Geiger #1. The standard cover for Geiger is at the #1 spot with 87 moved comics. $20 for raw. Interesting to see how this issue does. And we all know Jeff Johns is the head of DC Entertainment, so
yeah, this was a no-brainer. I believe this is one of our picks.
Yeah, we picked. I bought multiples of everything, but I think I just for fun went. I really liked the glow in the dark.
Yeah, so we'll see. Was it on here, the glow in the dark?
I didn't see it, but I just know I like that one.
So every cover but this one. Well, let's see. Let's see if it's in the top 20. At rank 11, we have Fantastic Four 353. So this is more Mobius. getting people excited. 25 copies moved, and a high sale of $400 for a CGC 98. X-Men number 4 from 1992. This is Omega Red, who was rumored to appear in episode 3. It didn't happen.
But
Then episode 4, nothing. Speculation is still holding on for him to appear and putting money where their spec is.
It's like it's waiting for Mephisto.
Yes, exactly. And I can't read it, but it had a high sale of something. I got too much spam on my book. There it is.
$450 for a CGC 9.
Thank you. Rank 13 X-Men 282 from 1991. Bishop's. Is this Bishop? First Bishop?
Yep.
Sold.
First appearances for characters like Bishop, Dazzler, Havoc, Rogue, Kitty Pryde, Phoenix.
And sold 36 copies and had a high sale of $390 for a CGC 98. The ENIAC number 1 that's not a first print sold 63 copies and had a high sale of $27 for a raw copy. So that's cool. I'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Ultimates number 1 from 2015. This book is trending specifically for the brief appearance of AO from the Black Panther films within episode 3 and 4. Yeah, that was 4 especially. That was pretty awesome. Kyle, you're still not current, right?
Yawn.
Oh my God, you got to catch up, buddy. Her first appearance in this issue is moving, despite having appeared multiple times in the MCU before. It sold 41 copies at a high sale of $60 for a raw. Ultimate Fallout 4, that's Miles, baby. And this one,
what more can you say?
We're at $3,200 for a CGC 98 now. Sweet. Kyle's Star Wars Kanan, the Last Padawan.
Got a few of these beasts.
Yes, you were early adopter on that.
Yep.
And we're selling this for $400, $360 for a CGC 98. Wolverine number 1 from 1988. Great cover. Wolverine fans are seeing evidence of their favorite mutant in the current Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Okay. In particular, because several Easter eggs and some scenes take place on Madripoor. Oh, yeah, okay. This has drawn focus to the first...
That did not seem to tickle your interest very much.
Yeah, that's barely anything. And it had a high sale of $600 for a CGC 98. I thought that was booming bigger than that, but I guess that's still solid, $600.
Could be worse.
Truth Red, White, and Black number 1. This is the first Isaiah Bradley, also from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Continues to sold 40 copies and has a high sale of $625 for a CGC 98. Black Adam Endless Winter Special number 1, the Boss Logic cover from 2020. This 4-month-old B variant began spiking in value after a 61-bid auction ended at $821 for a CGC 98. After that, raws were hitting $100 to $150. This spike came with Rock's Instagram post of a disruptive and unstoppable global force of a message from the man in black himself. Black Adam is coming July 29th, 2022. This news has continued to move copies, with 36 copies sold and at a high sale of $480 for a CGC 98. And you, sir, are a big fan of Boss Logic, right?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram and stuff. I like the stuff he does with Photoshop and everything. Whenever anything's in the news, he does some cool little stuff to it, and I've really liked a lot of the covers he's put out.
Sweet. And that is all for cover price. Top 20.
All right, Drew, let's get to the reason that everybody joins us every single week, and that is for our sneak peek at next week. We got stuff coming out the 20th and the 21st. Let's head over to lunardistributions.com and let's find our originally releasing products for the 20th for our DC stuff.
My top of the stack is going to be this Nightwing 79. 78 was fantastic read, so I'm excited to read that as soon as it comes out and I get it in my grubby little paws.
Yeah, and that one went good on the secondary market, spiked for a week, and aside from a horrible looking cover B from Jamal Campbell and not a great cover A from Bruno Redondo. So still
Yeah.
doing me absolutely nothing in the cover department. And
Art is not king on this book.
No. However, writing is
Yeah, it's ruling the
plus
roost.
effort.
Yes.
But it is not the ugliest cover of the week. That goes to Superman Red and Blue #2.
You
That
are
covers
hating
some
on these.
David Cho. Go look at that thing and tell me that's not garbage.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. They're trying to copy that cool looking Harley Quinn book from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they were way off the mark, and it's not great.
Jenny Frisen's cover is spanking Joelle Jones' cover by a mile. It's really, really nice. It's fantastic cover B by her.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get your Batman Fortnite. You're gonna get your code out of there and see what happens.
That's right.
With the what's it called? Cosmetics. Get the free cosmetics for your kid. You buy your son cosmetics. That's great. Way to go. You're real woke.
That's not a... Skins, my friend, skins.
I think it says cosmetics in the thing. It says cosmetics. You do you, man.
You can't believe everything you hear on the internet. Anything else from our friends at DC?
No.
Very cool stuff. Let's head on over to Previews World. Previewsworld.com. Find new releases for April 21st, 2020. And start where we love to start. Let's start in Image, where Geiger #1 has its second print. Oh, there's my glow in the dark.
No, it looks like they delayed the glow in the dark for a week. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
There you go.
Haha, #4 of 6. We're getting Gustav in the world of floating objects. Wise Clown once said that everything floats down here. He was right.
I'm so friggin' interested in seeing how this Old Guard Tales Through Time #1 hits.
Like as far as sales are concerned?
Yeah, because like Old Guard was really good. The show was really good. But then everything went away.
Yes.
And if it's really good, why...
And this is an anthology, so
yeah.
It's just like different. It's not going to be one big story. It's just going to be tales.
Well, we're all... I mean, imagine we're just grabbing our same characters at a different point in time.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Post Americana, we get issue 5 of 6, the Steve Scroce book, which is glorious. Getting our 3rd issue of Radiant Black, what I've always said, superheroes belong in Image. From the get-go, I said that.
You put that on Drew's too.
That's what I've always said. That's where I go for my superhero books, is Image. And Radiant Black is one of them.
That is a nice looking Walking Dead 13. That cover D, that Raposa cover. I like that. That's cool and well done.
Very nice. So good. Ultra Mega didn't like it. Didn't like it. I'm not a kaiju guy, I guess. So, I did watch King Kong versus Godzilla. I really liked that. But I guess I don't like to read about kaiju.
There you go. Stray Dogs #3.
Yeah, fantastic. What's the horror book?
I think it's that Annabelle, that weird doll.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Done in Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. Well, I was trying to not screw up Kojikaru the Skinner, and I screwed up Dark Horse.
Was Haas the big guy in Bonanza?
In Bonanza, yes. As a fat kid,
goodness!
I've been called Haas my whole life, so that's fine.
People call you Haas.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's the worst. You know, it's not as bad as Chief. Yeah, hey Chief.
Yep. Chief, Slick, Sport, Skillet, Tiger, all the things. Yeah.
All those suck. I hate all those. That's why I'm so scarred. And then we're getting what's the Sophie Campbell look like for the TMNT ongoing? She does good work. Yeah. I like her.
That is very good as well. And we're not, again, our boy Eastman, he turns in them covers pretty late.
Yeah.
We don't get to see crap.
He's still working on them right up until the printer's printing.
Yeah. And we don't care about Godzilla. But We do have an IDW photo cover of Godzilla. Does that count as the
I don't know.
Flash in the Pan photo covers? I don't think it's the same deal.
That's tough. Down in Marvel, we are getting second issue of Alien. I did enjoy that first issue. It was good.
There you go. Is it Stephanie Hans on that? Yeah, Stephanie Hans cover B's really cool on it.
Yeah, really nice. Spider-Man doing something.
I'm not doing any Valkyries. I'm not into the Jane Foster and the Valkyries and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I want to follow that again.
Star Wars Dr. A for 9, but she's getting ready to spin into Bounty Hunters here soon.
Well, we've got Way of X. This is... What was the other of X's we had? We had a couple of X's before, right?
Yep.
But you do like this Nightcrawler cover.
Yep, I like my Nightcrawler when he's swashbuckling, and we have swashbuckling Nightcrawler again. I fell for it before, and I'm falling for it again.
And we got Women of Marvel. One shot, I'm guessing?
For $6, yeah. Yep, one shot.
And down into Dynamite, and then off that into Boom, and skating right past that. Although I do like Spectre and Spectres, it's pretty good. But it's one of those boombox books, which most people don't like because it's all ages.
You're not interested in the Many Deaths of Layla Starr?
Oh, I missed that one.
By our boy V-Rom. Powerful new series for the fans of Wicked and Divine and Dreaming, and The Dreaming from Ram V, which we know from Justice League Dark and Philippi.
Yeah. He writes all those DC books I do not like, so no,
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
Gotcha.
So then we go down to Absolution. Let's get their second issue. What publisher is that?
I do like this Power Rangers Untold Heir to
Avatar.
Darkness #1. The second print is another kind of character development cover. I like these. It's white. It's going to be tough to get a good one on it, but it's a nice looking cover by Dan Mora. I really like that. So
Who is it?
so this is whatever. Astro Mera is one of the most popular Power Rangers villains ever, and her true origin is revealed in the first time in this one shot. But you get her. Did you click on it?
Where am I at? What is she?
You're in Boom.
Oh,
You're under
back in
Power
Boom.
Rangers Unlimited Heir to Darkness #1, the second print,
Oh, okay.
which is a Dan Mora character print front cover, which is a really nice looking cover.
I see what you're saying.
So that is worth chasing if you're a Power Rangers person, even though it's $8
Ugh. Why so much?
I don't know. What's a one shot?
Oh, I see. So it's a double sized or something.
Yeah, and it sold well enough on the cover A to get a cover B.
We have Chess #1 from Second Sight. I don't like the look of it at all.
Nope.
I don't understand the Avatar printing philosophy with all these old cross books. I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're whipping up new people to the cross, there's no new crossed.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. We got
Unicorn. This looked cool from Scout Comics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's only $2. The Scoot imprint. May Everhart inherits an old horse from her long-lost mother, only to discover a strange nub on the horse's forehead, hidden underneath a fly bonnet. Searching for answers, May explores her mom's abandoned veterinary offices and finds a secret book her mother hid just for her. It's titled Unicorn Guide.
That's very nice. And I was intrigued by Lost Angels #1 from Bliss on Tap as the publisher. Written by Jordan Leichman. with art by Mike Pyro Blois. The shocking and senseless assault of a privileged suburban teen leads local punk bouncer Doyle to investigate the crime on behalf of a grieving family. I like that pitch a lot. I like the look of it. Small publisher. Sounds pretty good to me.
All things. But Drew, here's the real question. We've gotten to the end of our books, and this is where I ask you for your pick of the week. What's the one book to make sure you run into your local comic book shops, pick up, because it is going to be worth some money someday?
Well, I think it's one I didn't get a chance to go over yet.
Oh,
so I'm
going
going
to
go
off early.
That's all right. I'll just do it right now. It's called You Promised Me Darkness, #1, by Behemoth Comics. And this is written... Behemoth. Or Behemoth.
Behemoth.
I've heard it both ways.
I've never heard it, but okay. Moving on.
Yeah, Behemoth. Written by Damian Conley with art by Damian Conley. And you know how I love my artists that write.
Yeah.
Not every
big
time.
Thing you hate.
Approximately every 75 years, Halley's Comet orbits around the sun. And every time this happens, people around the world are born with incredible abilities. Special ores that grant them supernatural skills. But those ores can also be cursed. Like that concept a lot. Think I'm going to go with You Promised Me Darkness #1 from Behemoth.
There you go. The easy one is Geiger, Glow in the Dark, that was late, that we already know is going to knock it out of the park. I'm tempted to go Unicorns, just because it's $2 and it might be something neat. Trying to think here.
That would be your first all ages probably ever.
Yeah. Just because it seems interesting. Yeah, screw it. Let's go Unicorns #1. It just
Kyle says screw the unicorns. You heard it here, folks.
That's not what I said.
Oh, I could have swore that's what you said.
Yep. All right. So that's been our sneak peek at next week. Thank you for following us all the way through our books of the week. If you found a couple cool books this week, let us know what you thought. Be part of the conversation. You can also join us on Patreon and be part of our conversations on our Slack channel and some of our earlier reviews and all kinds of fun stuff. Find all our information there.
Don't close it yet, because I forgot the most important thing about the Behemoth Comics You Promised Me Darkness #1 is I'm picking the nude variant.
Of course you are.
So
just so you get us kicked off Instagram.
So you have your fun with your unicorn. I'm going with the nude variant.
Just because I went all agey, you had to go like
all nude.
Yeah. Oh, geez, that's awesome. So for Drew and for myself, see ya.